So, a winning start for England. So much to get into this morning. Mark McAdam, good morning to you. What went right for England in Gelsenkirchen last night, first of all?
Most importantly, they won the game. Significant win. It was more of a purr than a roar from England. But Gareth Southgate keeps up this fantastic record. 4 major tournament opening games, 4 major tournament opening wins. So therefore, he's doing his job. I think there were so many big positives to take from the game. Of course, you have to ignore elements of the second half. But I think when you look at the situation, a win in their final 2 games will take them through to the last group stages, get out of the group stages, which is important. You look at the situation now with regards to defensively, they look very good. That's 5 clean sheets in their last 5 European group games as well, which has never been done by a side before. So that's another huge positive. And you look at the way they kind of controlled the first 20, 25 minutes. You really saw what England were about. They just run out of steam in that second half. But what you saw was a really resolute second half defensive performance where Jordan Pickford, when he was called upon, was fantastic. And defensively, they looked reasonably solid despite that experience and that physical nous of the Serbia attack. So there are still lots of positives to take from the game. It wasn't the performance overall that I think England fans were hoping for, but it's certainly a good marker and a lot of room to improve on. We picked out 3 players who we think were the stars of the show based on the ratings we've had on our website, skysports.com, which fans can get involved with as well. We're going to start with Marc Guéhi, the 23-year-old Crystal Palace defender, has done really well this season for Crystal Palace, hence why he's earned his place, not just in the squad, but in the starting 11 for that Serbia game. 96% pass completion, which was really strong, 100% in the first half. Didn't lose one of his tackles as well. And I thought what you saw from Marc Guéhi, he was someone who was calm on the ball, he was calm defensively, he knew the right times to step up and try and challenge and win the ball back for England. And he wanted to play out from the back as well, a little bit like Harry Maguire, very similar in that time, in terms of kind of the style of football that he has. So I thought that was definitely one of the key positives. Declan Rice, he's been superb for Arsenal all season. And once again, you saw another brilliant performance in the middle of the park. He had a lot to do last night, not just to get forward, but try and protect the back 4 as well. 96.3% pass completion, which was strong, 90 touches in total, and 10 ball recoveries as well. So you're seeing the ability for him to win the ball back and break things up and just do what he has done so well for Mikel Arteta. Last but not least, we know the man, the star of the show, the man that got the winning goal, the only goal, Jude Bellingham. We spoke about the record there. He writes his own scripts, doesn't he? Whatever Jude wants to do, he seems to do it. The most touches in the game, most passes in the final third. He has been, once again, the main man for England.
Yeah, those are thoughts of a couple of the players on a great performance from Jude Bellingham. And yes, it was a win, and that's the big positive. And you talked about the positive performances of a few of the players, but a few areas of concern potentially. What do you think England need to improve on when they play against Denmark on Thursday?
Well, I think, like you say, it's weird because you look at the performance and there are lots of good things, lots of milestones for players individually, nice balance there of experience and the energy and the fearlessness from Jude Bellingham. But there are certain players that will think, I can do much better for England. And Gareth Southgate and his backroom team will be looking at the situation, they'll be crunching the numbers, looking at things and thinking, right, these are big key areas that we can improve on for that Denmark game, the second group match. We've broken down some of the numbers as well to look at things, and you can see a real difference between the first half performance and the second half performance. Let's take a look at the situation here with regards to England's possession lost. And you can see in the first half, in the defensive half, they lost it 8 times. In the middle third, 17 times. In the second half, Dharmesh, completely different. You can see very different performance. They're losing the ball far more often. In the defensive half, 19 times, over double that in the first half. And in the middle third, they lost the ball 23 times as well. So you can see the difference there between the first 45 minutes and the second. And then that leads on to the situation where you're looking at the long balls that England are playing. Now, in the first half, 8% of their forward passes were long balls. In the second half, 12.3% were long balls. So you can see the transition there. Obviously, England trying to get out, trying to play. They were a lot deeper in that second 45 minutes, and a lot more of their passes forward were long balls. And of course, that meant Harry Kane isolated on his own, trying to win the ball back, trying to hold it up and win free kicks and just try and take England up the pitch, because at large chunks of that second half, they were very, very deep, which is something you haven't seen from England for some time. And then when you look at the passing situation in the final third, you can see the differences again here when they took on Serbia last night. Passes in the opponent's half. England dominating Serbia in the first half, 109 to 192. And you can see passes in the final third, almost 3 times as many for England compared to Serbia in that first half. And then the numbers flip. Second half, 163 passes. Serbia outpassed England in their own half. In that second half, and then passes in the final third. You can see the difference once again. So, yeah, a little bit concerning there, the way England dropped off in the second 45 minutes. But again, room for improvement, room to look at the situation and improve, of course. And the other thing I think that's important to look at, this is the first half and second half average positions, Dharmesh. So you can see in that first 45 minutes, England on the halfway line, defensively in a good structure. You can see that Kieran Trippier was getting forward where possible, nice and solid, protected by Declan Rice. And you've got the outlet, Bukayo Saka, right up there. He was a constant threat on that right-hand side. He had his best half there, looked dangerous every time he got the ball. And you could see that Trent and Kyle Walker were looking for those balls into the channel. They were looking to try and exploit the left back for Serbia, put him under pressure, and that's where they got so much of their joy. Second half, Dharmesh, completely different. England very deep. Big gap here as well, where Dusan Tadic had so much space to try and operate in. You can see Kieran Trippier's position, much more defensive-minded. You can see the gap between the two centre halves there, very, very deep, and you can see this collection of players here. So.
Even Jordan Pickford's retreated, look.
He has. No, but genuinely, you can see the difference in the first half and the second half. This is the average position between the two England sides there in first and second half there. So, again, something to work on, something to look at, a lot more defensive there. And, of course, that's not what you want to see. You want to see players in advanced positions. So, yeah, more room for improvement there. Paul Merson assessed England's performance and believes there are areas to improve on.
In the morning, you have all the enthusiasm in the world. You think, 2-3-0, we'll do. But that's the norm, isn't it? What we see tonight's been the norm for a few years now. Started off so well. First 15 minutes were outstanding. We're patient, passed the ball, moved. There was a lot of good play, get the goal. Sort of got bored with it. Get bored of keeping the ball. Then we start losing the ball, giving it away. And they got on the top the last 10 minutes of the first half. And lucky enough, half-time come and never really got going again. I think we never are able to change it. We start well and then it goes not good. But we could never get that from not good to good again. And then it stays like that for the rest of the game. No one wanted the ball. Everybody was hiding. I felt they were hiding